What do I do during the work week or work day? Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is Zach with IT Career Questions, and I get asked that question fairly often. What do I do during my work day or work week? And I will answer that the best that I can. I've done videos like this kind of similar before, but I will give you kind of what I'm doing this week. This week, myself and one of my coworkers are rolling out AirWatch, and that is our mobile device management system, or MDM. We are trying to figure out our policies and trying to configure all of the things that we're going to allow, not allow, and how we are going to basically manage that entire system. Because we provide cell phones and other mobile devices to our staff. So we want to make sure that we can lock down these things the best that we possibly can in case one of these things gets stolen. So our primary objective this week is to create our policies so that when we officially roll this out, it will basically go pretty smooth and everybody will agree to it, because they're not really going to have a choice anyway. It's their company provided cell phones or devices, so they're going to deal with it. It's going to be great. So I'm really, really excited about it because I've worked with an MDM product before in the past, and that was Meraki, and that went over very, very smooth. It was just managing iPads. This is a little bit different because we're doing cell phones and some iPads, so it's a little bit of a grander scale somewhat. So I'm actually really, really excited about this project, especially because I get to be more involved with how the policies are actually going to play out. So that's a very exciting project. On the not exciting project, in the next month or so, we are rolling out a new EMR, electronic medical records system. So we are trying to plan that out the best that we can. So we have to roll out some new computers. I have to get some new computers ready for staff training. So that's kind of just like a on the whim kind of thing. I have to re-image a few computers so that we can get all of our staff in for training on these systems. So that's kind of a boring part. Like, that's no fun. Imaging computers is, whatever, but, it's imaging them, making sure all the updates are applied, making sure that they have all the software that they need, and then setting all of these computers up. So it's sometimes a timely process. We average that sometimes just to do the entire process from start to finish of imaging a computer, from the time you open it out of the box to the time you actually deploy that computer, set it up, mouse, keyboard, monitor, all that stuff, is about a 4 to 5 hour process. So per computer, but if I'm doing multiple at a time, you can't really consider each one 4 to 5 hours or whatever. So it's an all right process. It's still just kind of like boring sometimes. So that's that part of the work week. Other than that, it's just the normal grind of managing users and managing other systems that we always have to manage, and getting phone calls of stuff not working, which happens all of the time. So that's kind of the work week. Right now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a blunder that happened. And I hate to admit it, but things like this happen. Whether you guys work in IT, whether you've worked in IT for a year, 2 years, 5 years, or 15 years like myself, things happen. You forget things. You maybe don't try things. You need another person to kind of chime in and say, hey, did you try this? And this happens, and you're not expected to know everything. And sometimes it's very, very frustrating that you don't, or that you didn't try quite possibly one of the most obvious things that you could have tried. But sometimes you just don't think about it. And that happens, and that's not really too big of a deal, but it happens. So my blunder is that I was imaging computers. I had about 6 or 7 computers that I was trying to image. And out of these, I think it was 7. Out of the 7 of the computers that I was trying to image, one of them imaged just fine. The other 6 would not image at all. Could not get those things to image. They were all the exact same model, came right out of the box, brand new. Nothing was different on any of these. They were all literally the exact same computer. Could not for the life of me figure out what the heck was going on with them. Tried everything I possibly could, changed the settings in the BIOS, got new drivers from the HP website, made all different kinds of changes in the BIOS, trying to figure out why won't these things PXE boot? Why can't they connect to our imaging server? What the heck is going on? There's two different issues there. One, it wouldn't connect to the PXE server on some of them. The other issue was sometimes it would boot to PXE, it would get to the imaging portion of it, and it wouldn't connect to our imaging server at that point. It was the oddest thing ever. I struggled with this for a couple of days. Honestly, it was the most infuriating thing of all time. I reset the switch, powered off the switch, tried different cables. None of that worked. And one of my coworkers, Chris Davis from PC Addicts, you guys have heard me talk about him before, he comes up to me and asks, well, did you try it on a different switch? I'm like, well, no, because one of them imaged just fine, so I don't think it's a switch issue. I think it's a computer issue. I think they're bad computers. Should have tried them on a different switch, because as soon as I put them on a different switch, they went just fine. One of the most obvious things you could do, just by switching them to a different switch or a different port, really, something that completely obvious. I didn't even like cross my mind just to try it, and it worked. It worked just fine. That made me mad for the rest of the entire day. It literally just drove me insane. I was so upset with myself that I didn't think of it. Things like that are going to happen to you guys. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to know everything. And that's okay. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make plainly obvious mistakes just like that, no matter how long you've been in the career. It just happens. It's not a big deal. You'll get over it and you'll move on. No big deal. So this is a series of videos that I hopefully plan on doing more in the future, where I will give you guys kind of, this is what I'm doing this week. This is what I'm doing this day. And this is maybe what I screwed up this week, because it happens. It happens to the best of us. And I want you guys to know that no matter what, no matter who we are, or no matter what the person is, no matter what they do, no matter how long we've all been working in IT, we all screw up at some point. So be prepared for more videos like this, because I want you guys just to realize that we all screw up at some point. No big deal. So that's today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or want to call me an idiot for not trying the obvious, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear it. As always, take it easy.